So I'm starting out this live video facing this direction. The interstate's over here, but I just dropped my child off at camp. And hi everybody, so it's Carmen here. I think I'll face this way so you can kind of see the mountains behind me if possible. So I'm in North Carolina, and every single year I take my kid to Camp High Rocks up here in Brevard, North Carolina. It's about a 3.5-hour drive for us now that we've moved closer to Chattanooga. And every year, but this is our 6th year, we have come as a family. So my husband, ex-husband, and I and my son have made a trip out of this every year until last year. So last year was the first year that it was just my son and I coming up here to his camp. This camp is a month-long camp, Camp High Rocks. You have to look it up if you've never heard of it and you have boys. It is the best camp, hands down. It has been his home away from home for an entire month in the summer for, again, 6 years. So last year, when he and I drove up here, it was a very different time in my life. I was newly separated, newly disclosed about, multiple infidelities and things like that. Good morning, Shirley. Hello. And when I dropped him off at camp, I remember getting in the car, and I never get emotional or cry when I drop him off because I love it. I love how happy he is when he goes to camp. It has never bothered me to drop him off for a month of an unplugged camp where I don't hear from him because he's so well cared for and he's so happy. And so last year when I dropped him off, the interesting thing is that I was in a very uncertain time in my life, had filed for divorce, wasn't sure how everything was going to, thank you, Shirley. I didn't know how everything was going to pan out. I had just started the process of trying to figure out if I was going to be able to handle this by myself. And I went down the mountain after dropping him off, and I cried the whole way down the mountain. I cried the entire way down the mountain. And as I was going down towards the city of Brevard, and there's someone coming, I hope they don't come over here, but they may, I saw a church that was a stop, and it had a prayer box. And I pulled in, just led by divine intervention, and I put a prayer in that box that day, and I prayed for life to become more manageable for us so that I could see the way clearly for my son and myself. And there was a sense of peace that came over me, even though it was a difficult thing to do, dropping him off alone, staying in a hotel alone, all of it alone without a spouse. It was almost a relief when I pulled away from that church and that prayer box to let it all go. And as my mom always says, put it in your God box, whatever it is that you can't deal with. And I've done that since I was younger. She's always said to me, just put it in your God box. And I even have a God box. So if I write something on that paper and I put it in there, I leave it to him to deal with. So whatever your higher purpose is, whether it's Buddha or the universe or whatever it is that you believe, sometimes it can be very refreshing to let it all go and hand it over to somebody or something bigger than yourself. So with that said, the funny thing about it was I got in my car after doing that last summer, wiped my tears, started to feel this peace, and the songs that came on the radio, there were 3 of them, and I took pictures of them. I wish I could share them with you. But one of them I remember very clearly was a song, and it said, it was all by myself. And then another one, something about going it alone or something like that. But it was the songs were uplifting and very inspiring and powerful. And so anyway, that was a year ago today, and where I am today, just dropped him off at camp, feeling so much more inspired and empowered in my life. Life is completely different. I'm divorced. I have no sadness whatsoever. It was exciting to drop him off. He was happy. I was happy. Life is we're in just a totally different place. So I have to say this, if you are ever in a place where you feel stuck or you can't move on or you feel like things are never going to change because it just gets harder and harder and every day is difficult, I think it's time to just find that person or that belief or that divine, spirit that you believe in, that God of your own, and let it go. Find a way, whether it's to write it on a piece of paper, burn it, whether it's put it in a balloon, let it float away, make sure it's biodegradable, whether it's a God box you put everything into. Sometimes the only thing that we can do in our lives to make things easier and less painful is to let it go. So again, today when I went by the prayer box, the same prayer box that I put a prayer in last year, as I was crying my eyes out, this year I was peaceful. I put a prayer in there that we continue to be guided in the right direction for healing and repairing the brokenness that we've experienced over the last couple of years from the breaking apart of our family and the disappointment. And then asked for the financial security that I need to take care of myself and my son. So whatever it is in your life today that you feel is something that is weighing you down and you just can't seem to move past it, or whatever it is that you feel is holding you back, maybe it's just time to let go. So that's my tip for today. Life seems to flow much better when we can let go of the things that we are not in control of, or things that we no longer feel that we can handle. And it is hands down one of the best feelings I've ever had to just write it on a piece of paper, put it in the prayer box, and I'll put the pictures in the comments, and just let my God or the universe or someone else take care of the things that just feel insurmountable. Because from last year to this year, two totally different emotions, feelings, experiences, dropping my son off for a month at camp, and I'm really excited for him, and I'm excited to have some time where we get to be apart and continue to grow in this journey that we're on together. So I hope you guys have an amazing Monday, and don't be afraid to let go of things. It's really, sometimes that's what we're being pulled to do so that other things can grow and that we can have the experiences we're supposed to have. Because I truly believe that sometimes if you are stuck in something, it's preventing everything positive from coming your way. So post in the comments below if you've ever felt the lightness and the relief of letting something go, whether it be to a friend or a higher power. And also if you're dealing with anything right now that you're struggling with letting go of. Happy to give some insight and guidance on that as well. And as always, visit us at the instituteforfunctionalhealthcoaching.com and figure out, what it means to really learn from someone who's been in this health coaching space and who's passionate, and that's me, about sharing everything that you need to be a happy person and to help others in your business and in your life as well. All right, see you later. Have a great, great week.